So one of my followers brought to my attention the other day that I went from a street boss to a welding boss. So owning my independent welding LLC, actually. Um, and I made archives of this when I first started, when I first went out on my adventure to be independent. I made a video. I think I was in Denver actually, and I was doing a contract working as a foreman, and I was working on stepping out on my own. I had already started forming things, getting things together, so I wanted to make archives of that. And now I have right around 2,000 videos that I have dropped independently showing my growth, showing different jobs, showing different things that I went through, showing how I faced different trials, how I overcame, how certain things I had to regroup on. But I made archives so that way somebody that going through the same struggle can see that it's possible. But there is no such thing as overnight success stories. It takes time, you know. I have people who call me and pay for consultations, and I have one guy who called and said, you know what, Phoenix, I've been following you for 2 years. 2 years, the man said. And he said, now I'm in a position where I'm able to pay you for this consultation, but I want to pay you because I have seen your growth. Actions speak louder than words. I've seen how you started, and I've seen where you are at. So, regardless of what someone say, I know you know something valuable, and I'm about to get started on my own. And before I jump out on my own, I want to know what not to do. Save me the headache, save me the time, and also what I can do to fast forward things, to make things faster. Now that I went through it, I can give you the game like that because now I know it. But I actually went from the streets. Yeah, I'm from the streets. Yeah, I did 10 years in prison, a full decade. I went to prison at 16, and I got out at 26 years old. And so that's why I said I was a street boss, because I grew up in the streets, like a street hustler, a street gangster. Like, I grew up learning how to eat any way I could. Those who taught me how to hustle, they can only give me what they knew best. And that was the street laws, street values. That's all they could give me because that's all they knew. And I respect them even to this day because, it was valuable. And I use that same knowledge now just in the corporate world. You know what I mean? Because honestly, your street values and your hustle from the streets can be transferred over. You just have to change some things because business is raw. So you have to learn business. You can't enter business with emotions, like being emotional, because it'll tear you down, because business don't have no emotions. It have contracts, agreements. You need to know what you're doing. You need to make sure you're safe. You need to make sure that you cover your own footsteps. All these things you need to know. And I'm an independent welder, and I have an independent LLC. Now, as of this time, I don't have employees. Now, what I do is I reach out and I network with other welders, other fabricators, and I bring them in with me to make money. But I don't necessarily have employees at this time. But my goal is to have Hog On members, and so that's going to kick off next year. Hopefully everything go right, God's willing. I kick that off next year, where I'll be like a pretty much recruiting agency, where I have a team and we'll go out and do different things. Even you'll be on my team or you'll be on another team. But there's a big need right now for people who can go out and do jobs in the field. A big need. So I want to address some of that need with my people who actually want to get out and travel and got their AWS certs, they OSHA 10, and actually those are two big things that that you would need to get some serious money. Your AWS welding certs and your OSHA 10, and your TWIC card is a great one. Let me throw that in. But I don't have one at the moment, but I can get one. I just found out. So a TWIC card is a good one to have. Your NCCER card is a good one to have. If you don't have it, it's fine. But I'm going to keep it real with you. Those two that I named, AWS, OSHA 10, AWS certs, your 3G, 4G, or your 6G, I'm telling you, those right there can get you some money. Like, I had made thousands just with those two, So I like to leave my story and how I started, because if you go back on YouTube and you just put in Black Feniks Welding, put in Hog On Welding, all type of stuff might pop up, but it's going to show you my journey. And I got videos now I'm going to keep it real with you, I got videos now that's reaching more than my music videos, just off me authentically giving some knowledge on how to weld, or someone seeing me welding in the field, actually out there doing it, because actions speak louder than words, you know. And I try to lead by example. You know, I could have been upgraded and got a dope camera, and you know, I'm making money. I could have did that, but honestly, you need to see it, because a lot of times we have great assets in our hands, like this phone, and we don't utilize it. So I'm like, I'm gonna utilize what I get to show you that you can do it with what you got. You still invest, still put money in ads, still do all this, but utilize what you got first. And then when it's time to do a professional video or commercial, do that, most definitely. But always utilize what you got. You already paid for it. You already got it. So learn how to do that. So, you know, with my life, with my example, I just want to show someone else that it can be done. Someone that looks like me. Someone that been to prison. Someone that had a rough past. Someone who had to literally self-educate himself. Because I did. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't cry over spoiled milk, but I had to self-educate myself. When I went to prison, I had to teach myself how to read. Once I learned how to read, I went to Votech, got my GED in prison. I got that piece of knowledge, and I started getting hungry. Then I started taking different programs in prison, from AA to life skills to different type of parenting classes. And then I got into Votech. Took Votech, got combination of welding, did that for 14 months. Then I went into small business management, and I learned that because I knew I wanted to be independent. All the information that I could gain, I took it. I utilized it. But someone can't tell me that you can't start from 0 and get to 100, because to me personally, that's bullshit. You can. So stop making excuses for yourself. And if I can't do nothing else but use myself as an example, not putting myself on no pedestal, but just as an example that you can go from here. You know, I went from 0, like not having no guidance, not having no father. My mother was my father. I know you heard that song before, and that's truth, real story. You know what I mean? So I had to do what I had to do, and now I'm here. I'm here. I live in Phoenix at the moment. You know what I mean? Everything I got, I own at the moment, and I'm thankful. You know what I mean? And now I'm just trying to figure out how to help you, help others who really need it, because I know that if anything else, the knowledge that I got is valuable. The jewels that I can pass you is valuable. You know, I had people that had already hit me up and said, Phoenix, man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even took welding. And you know, honestly, I didn't even know I did that. I was dropping these videos just to show my struggle, and my struggle helped them figure out what they wanted to do in life, and now they welders. Now they making money. You see what I'm saying? Now they reaching out to me and saying, hey, man, I'm doing this here because of you. Now, I didn't know I was doing this. I was just getting my hog on. I'm just doing this naturally. And that's what you got to do if you're going to build something, your brand, your business. You got to do it naturally. I'm not taking no clicks. I'm just speaking it from the heart, because if I speak it from the heart, I know I reach a heart. And I speak it from the mind, I know I reach a mind. And I'm trying to reach you because I know if it hit you here, it'll change you here. But if I try to just hit you here, it'll miss you here. You see what I'm saying? You get that? So all I'm saying is, use me as an example. Whatever. You know what I mean? I know I'm not perfect. You know, literally, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I grew up like any other child, wanting to have, you know, kids and have them all by the same woman, but that didn't turn out right. I got 3 beautiful kids, 2 daughters and a son. All of them by 3 different women. All of them by 3 different women. Now, that's not something that you should brag on. No, you should feel ashamed about something like that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I love my babies. But it wasn't meant, you know, I didn't jump into it and say, oh, this is how it's going to go. But that's just how it went. And the crazy thing about it, all my kids look like me. You would think all my kids had the same mama. Or, you know what I'm saying, at least 2 of them for sure. You know what I mean? You can tell my oldest daughter a little darker than the rest of them. But you know what I'm saying? We all look alike. So all I'm saying is, use someone as an example. Get off your feet. Get your hog on. And I just use welding because I know welding can get you a serious bag. I was the hustler from the streets, and I needed. My mom told me this. My mom said, if you're going to get something that's going to really make you some money, I've been watching these welders. They making some money, Joe. They say they making $100 an hour, $50 an hour, $20 an hour. Man, I wish I could make some money like that. This is what my mama telling me. You ain't making this type of money in the streets without having to look over your head and worry about somebody kicking down your door. You can make some grand with this welding. So I learned this, I mastered this, and so I can give you this because I know this. You know what I mean? I know that everybody got their role to play. I'm a running back. Always have been. You give it to me, I'm going to go. So I'm going to play my role. I'm not going to try to be the tailback. I'm not going to try to be the defensive end. I'm not going to try to be the wide receiver. I'm too short for that. I'm going to be me. I'm going to get my hog on. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to help you by doing what I do. And hopefully it can help someone else. Hog on. Black Feniks.